If a lockdown worked the first time, why are we doing it again? If a lockdown didn't work the first time, why are we doing it again? As I begin, I just want to state that I think that Dan Crenshaw is absolutely an amazing human being. I've read his book, Fortitude. I found it to be absolutely compelling. I highly recommend the read, and I will certainly be voting for him in the year 2024 for President of the United States because I think he is what our nation needs. And his ability to try to understand the other side is something that is sorely missing from our political discourse today. And also, please, if you like this video, smash that like button. Just turn that like button blue. It'll feel good, I promise. Try to understand also the position of a YouTuber. Smash that like button, please. Here we go. Dan Crenshaw came out with an article trying to figure out why so many people on the left are in favor of lockdowns, trying to break down their thinking. He noted that so many of them wear masks while walking alone in the park, while conservatives generally contextualize the data as to who is at risk and are much less likely to advocate wearing masks while alone. He states that it can't just be Trump derangement syndrome, as Trump was against the lockdowns. And it turns out that the Democrats, now that the election is over, in certain jurisdictions are magically starting to agree. Funny and coincidental how that happens. Still, there are ardent proponents of the lockdowns, so we want to break down why they believe in them so. At the heart of the disparity of attitudes regarding COVID-19 is the subject of risk assessment and management. The perception of risk differs wildly between lefties and conservatives, as well as the decisions made when confronting risky situations. Research actually shows that Democrats and Republicans differ in neural mechanisms activated during risk-taking exercises. This demonstrates measurable psychological differences when confronted with risk. Conservatives overwhelmingly occupy jobs with greater physical risk, such as logger, fireman, such as policeman, military, and people on the left are generally relegating themselves to desk jockey jobs. Conservatives appear to be less risk-averse in terms of physical threats, and therefore are much less likely to favor extreme actions to mitigate something like COVID, which of course is a major difference in how we want the government to respond to the problem. One of the basic tenets of the left is the government can be used to solve virtually any problem. Now, if you've ever been in an office of a DMV, if you've ever dealt with the IRS, if you've ever dealt with USCIS, the immigration, which we've been doing, you will find that this is not the case. They simply don't have the incentive. The government is a far less efficient machine. So how somebody can hold this belief is frankly beyond me. And this is why many conservatives reject this as utter hubris and having unrealistic goals with excessive costs. Liberals favor actions even at high costs, and even better if that action can be done collectively, because then when you have everybody behind it, it becomes like kind of the equivalent of war. That's why there's a war on poverty, the war on inequality, the war on COVID-19, because only in war do we plan and execute with feverish collectivism. Now, according to Jonathan Haidt, who is a liberal professor at NYU, the left generally overemphasizes caring and fairness above any other moral consideration. Whereas, according to Haidt, conservatives are more morally balanced. Liberals and lefties generally measure the worth of an action by its corresponding measurement of signaled compassion, aka virtue signaling. They like to do that, don't they? But because the left emphasizes caring and fairness, they rally behind the call if it saves just one life, because they want to feel caring. They want things to be fair. Yet they fail to balance the risks down the road, the after effects of an action. Yes, you can save one person and then down the line 100 other people die. Is that necessarily fair? Is that balancing the risk? But it is still important to be able to diagnose how somebody on the left might think and why they think this way, and then be able to pace and lead them in conversation so that we show understanding of them, so that in reciprocation, on reciprocal terms, they might also try to understand an alternative position. We can all dream, can't we?